How's it going, everyone? I am back with a video for the new Unified Minds set coming out here in the next couple weeks, and we are going to be ranking the top GXs, just plain GXs, not tag teams. That is another video. This would be way too long. But in this set, they released 9 regular GXs from a bunch of different types, so I figured I'd rank them and we'll go from there. So we're going to start off at the number 9 spot. We have Dragonite GX, and I'm very upset that they can't make Dragonite any better. He's just very bulky for this set. 250 HP, Dragon-type Pokemon. For a Water, Lightning, and a Colorless, he does Dragon Claw for 130. So right there, your quick attack already has 2 types of energies that you have to accommodate for, which is kind of annoying. And then we have Sky Judgment for 5 colorless energies. Here you can use triple acceleration energy. Sky Judgment, 270. Discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. So you can make a case that you can use triple acceleration energy as the discard, but you only have 4 of those in this deck. So then you're going to have to think of a way to use other basic energies to make his attack work. And you have Malamar, and, you know, a few other cards that can accelerate energy, but he's still a stage 2, and he still takes 5 energies. You know, he can, and then he has to discard them, which for Malamar isn't hard to get back, but as far as the engine goes, it's going to be way too slow in this format. And then you have Mock Delivery GX. For 1 colorless energy, draw cards from your deck until you have 10 cards in your hand. You may discard as many cards from your hand as you like before drawing. So, his Mock Delivery isn't bad, but for a GX move, it's not the best. Weakness of Fairy and 2 retreat cost. I'm going to have to rank him number 9, like I said. I just think he is way too bulky and for this format, for this current meta. So we're going to be moving on to number 8, and that is Jirachi GX. And again, I hate seeing Jirachi. He's one of the cooler main guys that you would associate with Pokemon. Like, personally to me, I associate certain designs like stars and everything. For some reason, when I see a star, I think of Jirachi. So they made Jirachi really good in Team Up, and now they're really just dialing him back with this, I feel. Psychic Pokemon, 160. Basic Pokemon. Ability is Psychic Zone. If a Pokemon with a Psychic weakness receives damage from an attack, don't apply weakness. So that's pretty cool. But then we have Star Search for 1 Psychic. Search your deck for an energy card and attach it to one of your Psychic Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. It has to be a Psychic Pokemon. I think that's where it kind of starts falling off the rails a bit. And then we have Star Shield GX for 3 Psychic energies. 100 damage. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. So he's invincible, but they can just use Custom Catcher to get rid of that. So Jirachi is very weak. He's lower than Tapu Lele, and he doesn't have a good ability or attack to really match up to Tapu Lele's significance. His weakness is Psychic, and retreat cost is 1, so you can use a Skateboard with him. But again, you're not going to be using Jirachi. I feel like this is going to be one of those $2 cards, and I'm pretty sad to see that. But yeah, Jirachi is number 8, definitely. Coming in at number 7, we have Mawile GX, a Metal-type Pokemon with 170 HP, basic Pokemon. Also, the ability is Captivating Wink. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may have your opponent reveal their hand. Put any number of basic Pokemon you find there onto your opponent's bench. So you're probably thinking, oh, you're giving him more basics. Why is that good? Because of his attack. His attack is a Metal and a Colorless, Hustle Bite, 10 plus 30 for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So that's why you're going to be using Captivating Wink. But the problem with this that I've seen is that you have to play them from your hand onto your bench. So if you get unlucky and they don't have any basic Pokemon in their hand, and they only have like 1 or 2 active and 1 on bench, you're only going to be hitting for 70. You know, at the very worst, 40 at the very worst. I'm sorry. So if they don't have any basics in their hand, Captivating Wink does nothing. Plus, somehow you're going to have to use Captivating Wink, and then within the next 2 turns before he's knocked out, you're going to have to get a Metal and a Colorless, which isn't admittedly that hard, and then you're going to have to bring him up and then try for a knockout. I don't think this is really going to work for the type of attack it is, where you're adding damage, because when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, that's the key stuff right there. So it has to be all within 1 or 2 turns. Otherwise, they could Acerola their guy up before rotation, whatever. If you're playing expanded, they could Acerola them. Not even that. They may just not have any basics in their hand. They may just be bricking, in which case you're going to be not doing nearly as much as you need to. And then we have Big Eater GX for a metal and a colorless. Your opponent reveals their hand, discard all supporters you find there. That's pretty good, but a lot of the times they're going to be playing any supporter that they have in their hand. Again, I don't feel like Big Eater GX is a good GX move. His weakness is fire, which is really bad in this meta. A Volcanion can take him out with a high heat blast in one shot. Resistance to Psychic and 1 retreat cost, so again, you can use Escape Board. But Mawile GX, I feel, is going to be number 7 here because of his attacks and how contrived they are. Coming in at number 6, we have Latios GX, a Psychic Pokemon basic with 170 HP. Ability is Power Bind. If you have 4 or less Pokemon in play, this Pokemon can't attack. So in a Psychic deck, I can understand that you're going to be playing Malamar. So this can be a really good regular GX attacker. But I never really see tag teams and then a regular GX in there. Normally it's a non-GX attacker to counter things like Hoopa from Shining Legends or the new Keldeo coming out. So this, I feel, is a really bad ability, especially since Latios isn't going to be played in any type of Psychic deck that's going to be using Malamar. So his attack is Psychic and 2 colorless, tag Purge, 120. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon cannot be damaged by attacks from tag team Pokemon. That's pretty good. He can stop tag team Pokemon, but again, custom catcher's a thing. And 120 isn't that big of a hit to begin with for 3 energies. And then Clear Vision GX for 1 Psychic Energy. Until the end of the game, your opponent can't use a GX attack. The reason Latios GX is number 6 is because of his GX attack. Until the end of the game, your opponent can't use a GX attack. If you can pull that off at the very start of the game, then you've basically stalemated their GX attack. So that means Buzzmosa's Beast Game isn't happening. Reshazard's GX attack isn't happening. Pikaram's GX attack isn't happening. The 3 dangerous ones cannot happen now. So you're going to really stall them out if they're relying on using a GX attack. Weakness to Psychic with no retreat cost. So that's why he's higher on the list, mainly because of his GX attack and his 0 retreat cost. But again, Latios GX doesn't make the top 5. He comes in at number 6. Making the top 5, however, is Aerodactyl GX, a fighting Pokemon, stage 1 with 210 HP. His ability is Prehistoric Wind. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, the attacks of your opponent's basic Pokemon cost 1 colorless more. That's really good, especially with decks that are so exact to play, okay, I need to play 3 energies this turn, and I can pull this attack off, kind of like Pikarom. So you can stop them with Prehistoric Wind. And it does kind of hurt that he's a stage 1, but we do have Fossil Research Center coming out this set. So you can evolve right away. As soon as you get an identified fossil out, if I'm correct, it searches. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'll have a little notation up here. But if I'm correct, it basically just says evolve one of your prehistoric fossils. Or an unidentified fossil. I'm going all the way back to fossil set. So if I am wrong, there will be a little notation right above. So his attack is 1 fighting, 2 colorless, Rock Smash. Not good. I mean, the only way that this is going to be decent is if you're going to go up against the Zoroark. Or the new Silvally coming out that Wasi just put up, about 210 HP, weakness to fighting. This will knock it out, no problem. And a lot of people are saying that the Silvally GX is going to be a new, better Zoroark. So being able to do 120 for a fighting and 2 colorless is pretty decent. Again, you can use triple acceleration energy because he is an evolution, so you can pull this off turn 2. So then we have Wild Dive for 1 fighting energy. It's a GX move. 50 times 50 for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So when you're going up against things like Reshazard, Pikarom, you're going to get a 1-hit KO. Because in one turn, you're supposed to have like 3 or 4 energies on a Reshazard. You can hit 200 and really hurt him. Even so, even if they have 5 energies attached to him, or if they pull off, the Pikarom with the 6 energies, they don't even need 6 energies with Pikarom. This is a really good GX attack to play late game when they are going through the stages of keeping energy on them consistently. Now, it does work in cohesion with your ability, and I think that makes it a lot better. But again, there are better GX Pokemon and GX attacks in this set, so that's why I gave him number 5 with a grass weakness and a 0 retreat cost. He's not the worst in the world, but again, he's not the best. He's kind of the middle ground. Alright, so if you saw my Darkrai Umbreon deck, you'll know I'm going to be playing this card, so I think I may have a soft spot for it. It is Weavile GX coming in at number 4, Darkness Pokemon, Stage 1, evolves from Sneasel, obviously. HP is 200. Ability is Shadow Connection. As often as you like during your turn before your attack, you may move a basic dark energy from one of your Pokemon in play to another one of your Pokemon in play. That is beautiful. It's energy trans, and that's what is needed for certain Pokemon in today's format, to be able to move energies around freely. So Dark Slash for 2 darkness and 1 colorless is Claw Slash 130. Not really going to be worrying about that too much. He is more of a support GX than anything. Because of his attack is 130. I haven't seen a dark weakness for a very long time, so 130 is not good at all for a stage 1, especially with that energy cost. And his attack for 1 colorless, his GX attack, is Night Order GX. Search your deck for any number of basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Shuffle your deck. So that's why I'm using Weavile with Darkrai Umbreon, because 1 energy I can get whatever I need out. I literally can get anything I need out. I can get my Darkrai Umbreons, my Darkrai GXs, anything that I need to pull out, I can pull out. His fighting weakness is not the worst. We only have Buzzwole running around, Baby Buzz, so it's not the worst to deal with. But again, they get him down to 4 prizes, you're going to get hurt by Baby Buzz. Psychic resistance and 1 retreat cost, so you can use Skateboard, but he does take our number 4 spot for his ability and his good GX attack. Coming in at number 3, we have Heatran GX, a fire basic Pokemon for 100 with an 190 HP, not for 190 HP. His ability is Burning Road. Once during your turn before your attack, if this Pokemon was on your bench and became your active Pokemon this turn, you may move any number of fire energy attached to your Pokemon to this Pokemon. It's really good. You can save basically any Pokemon that is in your active. So when you lay him down onto the bench and you make him your active, you can save essentially your active Reshizard or something, and you can bring him up and he'll be able to do a decent amount of damage with the attacks that we have. We're not going to talk about really Explosive Stamp too much. 2 fire, 1 colorless, 130, not good. But Heat Bomber is really good. This could be a game changer. Heat Bomber for 1 fire energy, it's a GX move, 50 times 50 for the amount of fire energy attached to this Pokemon. Now you got to think here. We already have Volcanion able to do 110 if there's 4 or more energies on the field, fire energies on your field. It's not hard with today's fire engine at all. And you have Reshizard in that deck. You can add a one-off Heatran just as a saving grace, which is, if I ever play this, that's what I'm going to be playing. So I'm going to be playing a Heatran GX more than likely because of that good GX move and his ability. So that pulls him the number 3 spot. Along with a weakness to water. Water's not too great right now, but as soon as the set comes out, I promise it will be. Okay, so coming in at number 2, the top 2, we have Naganadel GX. A dragon Pokemon, HP 210. It's an Ultra Beast, evolves from Point Pole, obvious. His ability is Ultra Conversion. Once during your turn, before your attack, you may discard an Ultra Beast from your hand, then draw 3 cards. It's pretty decent, especially with Rescue Stretcher still being a thing. For a while, it's not that bad. You can just pull them right back. So that's a pretty decent thing. It's pretty much Zoroark's trade ability, Zoroark GX's trade, but you draw an extra card, but it has to be an Ultra Beast. It's not that big of a price to pay if you need some sort of consistency. And then his attack is Psychic and 3 colorless, so we can use Triple Acceleration here. Venom Shoot, discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. This attack is 170 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So you can literally discard your Triple Acceleration energy and hit 170 freely on anybody. 170 is enough to knock out a Tapu Lele. And I'm pretty sure Dedenne as well. I think it's 160. I'm not 100% sure. So that's really good. 170 to anybody. And if you're able to get 2 triple accelerations in 2 turns, you can knock out any tag team GX. So I really like Naganadel, but his injection is actually really good too. For 1 lightning energy, Injection GX, choose 1 card from your opponent's discard pile, show it to your opponent, and put it face down as one of your opponent's prize cards. You add prize cards to your opponent's prize area. That's really good. I really am more interested in his ability and his regular attack, but his GX attack is really good. It's not the best. It's not like the original Naganadel with Stinger GX where you just knock him down to 3 prizes. It's not like that, but it is still a pretty decent attack. Fairy weakness and 1 retreat cost. So he pulls the number 2 spot. And I'm 100% sure you guys already know who the number 1 is, but let's get a drum roll anyway. I can't drum. It's Keldeo GX, a water type basic Pokemon with 170 HP. His ability is what makes him great. This ability is game breaking, I personally think. Keldeo GX's ability, Holy Heart, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon GX and EX. In a fire-heavy meta, with Reshizard coming out right away, you have a stop. Plus, you have weakness against a Reshizard, against a Volcanion. Now, Volcanion can hit you because he's not a GX, but that's their only non-GX attacker half the time. The only thing that I would see you would have to worry about in a fire meta is a baby Blacephalon, because I think it's with 4 energies he can knock you out. That isn't all that good, but we do have a little bit of a good HP to be like, okay, they need to discard 4 energies. That's going to hurt them. If I need to bring him up as a sacrificial, bring up the Reshizard, and knock him out next turn, I'll take that. But here's the thing. Keldeo GX in a GX-heavy format is game-breaking. Especially since his attacks aren't nearly as good as they should be, but I guess it's to balance out the ability. His attacks are decent, though. 2 water, 1 colorless for Sonic Edge, 110, and this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So, if they say they can't be touched, no, they can be touched now. If your opponent's Pokemon say they can't be touched this turn, no, they can be touched. So, that's pretty good. And for the same amount of energy cost, 2 water, 1 colorless, and his GX attack is really good too. 2 waters, 1 colorless, Resolute Blade GX, 50 times damage. This attack does 50 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's really good. That is really good. Especially since a lot of the decks nowadays are planning on building up their bench first turn. It's Riotous Beating, but for a lot more damage. Plus a weakness on the most broken meta deck there is right now, which is Reshizard. His weakness is Grass, so that's not too bad, and his retreat cost is 2, so you cannot use a Skateboard, unfortunately. But I think that's the price you pay for a broken ability and a really good GX attack. So that is my list for the top GXs of Unified Minds. We will go back over it really quick. At number 9, Dragonite GX. Number 8, Jirachi GX. Number 7, Mawile GX. Number 6, Latios GX. Number 5, Aerodactyl GX. Number 4, Weavile GX. Number 3, Heatran GX. Number 2, Naganadel GX. And number 1, the best GX, regular GX, in Unified Minds is Keldeo GX. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you guys have any criticism on this, and if you think that I got the number 1 spot wrong, or you would switch this one with this one, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts about the GXs coming out. The next video I'm going to be doing, excuse me, is going to be a Tag Team GX video. And then I think the pre-release video that I'm going to be having will be coming after that. I'm doing 2 pre-releases tomorrow, this coming Sunday, July 21st. So I should have those out right after the Tag Team GX video, ranking all the tag teams. But I really feel like this is a good comprehensive list of what to play and what to look out for, and I really think Keldeo GX is our new god. So be on the lookout for Keldeo GX and find a way to counter it. So until next time, guys, I'll see you later.